Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dougie Duck, and in this episode of WWE Discussion, I will be discussing Tiffany Stratton's breakout performance and 3 matches set up for WrestleMania, including one that should main event night 1. You'll know which one I'm talking about as we get into the episode later on. And with that, let's get into the action, starting with Tiffany Stratton, who put on a star-making performance, taking a star that was already bright and making it brighter. I don't know if that helped with the illustration, but it was Tiffy time in Perth with the Aussie crowd completely behind her. She seized the moment and turned in the performance of her young career, throwing caution to the wind and showcasing her raw athleticism. Stratton rolled into the biggest match of her career with WWE and showed out. Saturday night was another great example of a performer winning in defeat and setting herself up for future success. She may not be heading to WrestleMania 40, but her elimination of Naomi in a subsequent tweet from the former women's champion suggests a feud between the two is to be expected. Stratton is the future of women's wrestling in WWE, and that future is bright. LA Knight. He is on a phenomenal path to WrestleMania after directly costing AJ Styles his Elimination Chamber qualifying match with Drew McIntyre during the lead-in to Saturday's event. The phenomenal one gained a measure of revenge, entering the chamber after Bobby Lashley's elimination and beating the megastar with a steel chair, delivering a Styles clash on the weapon and setting up his elimination at the hands of McIntyre. The assault set the stage for Knight versus Styles at WrestleMania, a singles match that would appear to exist to both give the former a quality belt on the grand stage and, more importantly, a defining win. Styles is still a highly respected in-ring performer who will remain over regardless of wins and losses at this point in his career. And there are worse spots to be in on the biggest card of the year than working with one of the more popular guys on the roster. Beating the phenomenal one would be a significant victory for Knight and keep him hot post-WrestleMania. Is it a championship win? No, but there is enough time for that later. Randy Orton. Elimination Chamber sets up a match against Logan Paul at WrestleMania. Assuming Orton did not injure his surgically repaired back, as appeared that he may have done when he delivered a draping DDT onto the floor of the Elimination Chamber, we now know that Orton and Logan Paul are on a collision course, setting up a third consecutive WrestleMania showcase for the young entertainer against a future Hall of Famer. Compared to Paul's previous opponents, Orton is a different animal entirely, whose approach to his in-ring work is less flashy and more methodical and story-based. How Paul adapts to that and how they work together will ultimately determine the overall quality of the match. Still, there is no denying WWE has put him in a position to succeed early in his pro wrestling career. Working with one of the best of his generation only further supports that idea. What that means for Kevin Owens, with whom Paul very much has unfinished business with, remains to be seen. And lastly, will Orton win the U.S. title? I don't think so. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. WrestleMania match is now official. Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley successfully defended her title Saturday in the main event of Elimination Chamber by overcoming the challenge of Nia Jax. Next up for the Eradicator is Becky Lynch in a match that should main event night 1 of WrestleMania. Mommy versus the Man is a match WWE has hinted at more than once over the last year or two. The story is there, but more importantly, so is the star power. Lynch and Ripley are among the most over women in the company. They are believable champions, and both have the equity built up among the fan base to headline WrestleMania. Ripley headlined Elimination Chamber which was built and marketed around her, proving she can carry the weight of such expectations on her shoulders. That both have delivered under the brightest lights only helps solidify the argument for their spot in the marquee bout on April 6th in Philadelphia. Book the match, put it in the main event of night 1, and let two of the biggest women's wrestling stars in the history of WWE cook. So will they have night 1 at WrestleMania? Well, if WWE books a tag team match with The Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, then the answer is no. All signs currently point to that tag team match happening. And with that, that will conclude this episode of WWE Discussion. If you like this video and you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below.